At Gadget User, I'm reviewing the Dara by FitTrack, which is a cool set of smart scales that tracks a heap of your body's metrics to help you keep on top of your fitness goals. The Dara by FitTrack is a glass-topped set of bathroom scales that measures in roughly at 25 by 25 centimeters. The glass is interrupted by 4 electrodes that send a low-current, safe electrical signal through your body when you stand on them. The signal is timed and run through a complex algorithm that gives you the 17 metrics that the Dara provides. To summarize quickly how this works, the electrical signal moves quickly through hydrated muscle tissue, but slowly through fat tissue. The scales also have a hidden display at the top, which is a bright white, elegant display that looks great on this set of scales. The Dara has 4 non-slip feet on the bottom of the unit, as well as a battery compartment that houses 4 AAA batteries. Inside this compartment, there's also a hardware switch to change the units of the scales from kilograms to pounds. However, the units of measurement can also be changed within the app. The scales boast a weight range of 2.9 to 181 kilograms. That's 6.6 to 400 pounds for Gadget users' American friends. Because of this, you can not only weigh yourself, but your children, pets, and even infants. There's a specific section for weighing infants in the app. The FitTrack Dara comes in at around 240 Australian dollars. However, on the FitTrack website currently, they are on sale for around 110 Australian dollars. For Gadget users' American friends, once again, that is $180 down to $80. That places this set of smart scales at a really competitive price, especially when considering the features that the FitTrack Dara provides. Setting up the Dara by FitTrack is honestly one of the smoothest product setups I've ever done in my entire life. Start by putting 4 AAA batteries into the back compartment and placing the scales on the ground. Then download the app from the App Store and create an account using an email and password. The app then asks for some basic metrics, including your height, age, target weight, and whether or not you consider yourself an athlete. A side note here, according to FitTrack, an athlete is someone who works out more than 3 times a week. The reason they get you to clarify this is so that the scales can provide you with more accurate measurements for your body type. Once that is done, the app automatically connected to the scales for me. I didn't even have to set up Bluetooth or anything. Using the FitTrack Dara is extremely simple. Start by opening the app, and then all you have to do to turn the scales on is give them a light tap. However, I did find that every now and again, I'd basically have to get on and off the scales to turn them on. So every Gadget user's mileage may vary. Once the scales have turned on, you jump on and make sure that your feet are making good contact with all 4 electrodes, and you should see on both the scales and the app that it is measuring your weight. After the weight measurement is complete, the scales show a progress bar in the form of 4 circles to tell the Gadget user that the scales are now measuring the more complex measurements. This only takes a few seconds though, and once it's done, you can see all the metrics in the app. Speaking of metrics in the app, let's look at those now. So the first metric it gives you is your weight. It wouldn't be a very good set of bathroom scales if it didn't do that. But the real useful part is when you tap on any of these metrics. When you do so, it provides you a little graph of where you stand compared to where you should be. As you can see for my weight, I'm at the lower end of standard. The next metric is BMI, which again, I'm at the lower end of standard, then followed by fat percentage, which I feel would be a very useful metric for a Gadget user, as most people track this with a set of scales indirectly through weight. As you can see, I'm bordering the low side of the graph at 10.1%. The next metric is muscle rate, which may be useful for a Gadget user who's working out a lot. The next metric is body water, which is given as a percentage and basically tells you how hydrated you are, which can help with fat burning. Bone mass is the next measurement, which tells you how much of your body weight is comprised of your bones. This is followed by basal metabolic rate, which tells you how much energy your body uses whilst you're resting. This is followed by your protein rate, and as you can see, I'm quite a ways into the high portion of the graph. Your metabolic age calculation comes next, which basically compares all of your metrics to those of the people in your age group and tells you roughly where you stand compared to the other people. As you can see, mine comes at 20 years old, which I feel is quite good considering I'm older than that. The next 2 measurements are visceral fat and subcutaneous fat, which are the bad fats and the layer of fat between your skin and muscle, respectively. This is then followed by the weight that you should be targeting for your age and height, And then weight control is how far you are off that mark. Next, you have your body's weight without fat. And finally, you have how much mass of your body is taken up by muscle and protein. So all up, some very useful metrics for many Gadget users. So now let us look at what I think are some pros and cons for the FitTrack Dara. So let's start with the pros. Firstly, I think the amount of metrics that the FitTrack Dara tracks is definitely a pro. If you combine that then with the price that the scales come at, you're definitely getting a good bargain. These scales seem to track everything that a Gadget user would need and nothing more. I don't really have any major cons for this device. However, I do have one little gripe. I feel that these scales are a tad bit small. I personally have size 12 feet, and when I use these scales, my toes hang off the end. Also, I have to be careful when getting on and off the scales, because if I'm not careful, they tend to tip up. To summarize, the FitTrack Dara is an amazing set of smart bathroom scales that I would definitely recommend to a Gadget user. I would rate these scales 4.9 out of 5 stars, and they only lose that one mark because of the issue I just mentioned.